Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my new paradise, a new world of endless possibilities and different opportunities for you guys to enjoy. This is my new apartment, so we moved again. This is like our third time moving this year, but aside from the point, I welcome you guys of all ages, color, ethnic groups, I guess planets to different galaxies, whoever the fuck y'all niggas are. Welcome to another installment of The Commentary. So for today's video, I am here to talk about a very specific YouTuber who has recently gotten under herself a hot pickle. She has stabbed herself with a pitchfork and has stuffed a large ass community over the past 24 hours. She goes by the name Trisha Payta, and essentially she is obviously a YouTuber. She's like a vlogger as well, who posts like these different vlogs of herself, and she doesn't really stick to one specific type of video. Like it ranges from mukbang videos, trying out different foods and stuff, her traveling, and trying on different lingerie for the viewers. And you can see why she got so many subscribers, because she has dated a lot of guys in the past and all that. She has uploaded her vlogs of her exes and boyfriends, and yeah, like I said, with her controversial upbringing, she's very over dramatic, meaning that like she will like express herself just a little too much of her emotions in order to get her point across, and this often comes off as as attention seeking to some viewers, and she often like goes against her sayings and like in like one video to the next. It's a whole like mess in her channel, but I guess she's still doing pretty well in terms of how she's kind of handling her business, I guess. I don't know, because like I've been watching videos for like I guess for like 2-3 days, and like I kind of noticed like a pattern towards her. The main kicker, the main thing that just puts that nail on that already like buried coffin is that she has recently uploaded a video titling "I am transgender, female to male." It's essentially her explaining the fact that she is transitioning or is already a male during the point of this video. Now, I'm not going to show you guys the entire clip, the entire video, because it is actually 15 minutes long, but I'm going to show you a few snippets of what I think is the best or the worst parts of her explaining her transition. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
A video, and I don't know if it's still up, I think it is, where I wanted to be referred to only as T, because I didn't feel like I identified as a girl. Now this seems like crazy and weird and shocking because I was born a female, and I'm ultra girly now. I'm very girly, right? Because when I was younger, I was teased a lot because they said I looked like a boy. I had a boy haircut. I had, just stuff I couldn't even control, like just hair on my lip, hair on my face. So people would call me like a man. Like there was one nickname, and it's not even funny. It's not even weird. It's not even like clever. They'd be like, Trisha the Man Payta. Like I swear that it sounds like I made that up. Like it's freaking weird. I didn't really get it then. I don't get it now. But they would just be like that I was like a man, and I didn't get it other than my lip. I know they made fun of my hair lip a lot. Anyways, so to overcompensate for that, when I got older, like when I was like 18 and I could start like like spending money on my hair and like all that stuff like that, and I used to always wear sports bra because my natural breasts were very like, one was uneven, like they were hella uneven, and one was really saggy and one was kind of up, so I always wore like sports bras to like flatten my chest, and I never liked the attention as so after I was like a man, blah blah blah. Around middle school is when I started like getting breasts, and I started getting like attention from like older guys, like not even high schoolers, but like just grown-ass men, and I didn't like that at the time, which is very weird, I know, because now I'm very hypersexual. I'm very much about boobs and like showing them off, and that's my issue, because here's the thing. I identify with men better.
Like she says, she often felt like a boy because other people were teasing her of looking like a boy, even though she stated herself that, you know, that like she hasn't really had a thought of being a man. Like she often dressed very girly in a sort of sense until her peers often made fun of her for looking like much like a guy, which in a sense I get. Like it shouldn't be like the main, like one of the main influences of you transitioning. One of the main things in which she says that, you know, like I like to not really do much with my hair and all that kind of stuff. That's not really the best. I don't like that. Like that's not really a thing to consider in transitioning to a male to a male, because you not doing much to anything to your hair doesn't mean you're like a male. Like a lot of people who I know transition to a male, they're all like they're really like high maintenance, and so are guys. Guys are also very high maintenance. You Trisha are just lazy.
Hella uneven, and one was really saggy and one was kind of up. So I always wore like sports bras to like flatten my chest, and I never liked the attention as a. So after I was like a man, blah blah blah. Around middle school is when I started like getting breasts, and I started getting like attention from like older guys, like not even high schoolers, but like just grown-ass men, and I didn't like that at the time, which is very weird, I know, because now I'm very hypersexual. I'm very much about boobs and like showing them off, and that's my issue. Because here's the thing, I identify with men better. People always think like there's something wrong with me because I don't have like that many girlfriends. Like I love girls, like I do love girls, and I love like their sensitivity and all that stuff like that, but that's why I identify more as like a gay man, because I like guys, but I also identify as a guy, if that makes sense. The thing that kind of like stops it is I do love, which a lot of gay men do too, I do love like glam and voluptuousness. So in my head, I feel like I'm a transgender female to male, but also like a drag queen.
Her reasoning in relation to men is that like she identifies with men a lot more than women. That doesn't mean that you're transgender. It just kind of makes it's kind of just like, well, I prefer to be a group of men. I'm gonna stay with a group of men. Like it's a preference, you know. Like people prefer to be in a specific gender group or not. It's all because of preference. Let me tell you something. All right. So I once had a roommate. Okay, I roomed with a guy 2 years ago who dressed really like lavishly. He had like suits and all that. Like dude was just clean, you know. And he once told me the story on how much he related to girls more than guys, and it is like simply because like girls are a bit more understanding to him. He was able to relate to them a lot more. He was able to have a conversation with them a lot more, and eventually he just like kind of like found a liking to their like personalities and their ideas more than men. Now that this doesn't necessarily mean that he excluded men entirely, but he just preferred to be in a group of women a lot more because he grew up around them a lot more, and he felt more acceptable towards them than men. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that he is transgender. He's a straight male. He has a girlfriend. He's cool. And what Trista's doing here is that she's trying to relate this into the excuse of being transgender, and that is definitely not the case. You being transgender or any other type of gender other than your biological gender shouldn't really dictate who or what group you hang out with. It just doesn't really make that much sense to me.
That's kind of how I've like rationalized it in my head, because like, okay, let me just tell you why I identify as a boy more so, and from an early age. I don't like to be center of attention, except when I want to be center of attention. So like, okay, think of like a drag queen, right? They do like their full glam and everything, but in their day-to-day, they're not. They're very like low-key, whatever. That's kind of me. Like when I want to put on a show, I put on the hair, I put on the makeup, I put on the outfits. But if you guys know me on this channel or my second channel or just in life, I never wear hair or makeup like in my day-to-day. I usually look crazy. Like watch my second channel, I look insane. Like as far as like girliness goes, like I just never wear makeup. Like oh my god, if I have like zits on my face, like they just like let them go. Like, and And so I've always just kind of related to guys on that level, and I've always just been attracted to guys, but not straight guys. I've always been attracted to gay guys. So that's why I've like always thought I like maybe I'm a gay man. And then when it comes to girls, like I admire girls' beauty so much, and I just like think girls are so beautiful to like look at. But like straight guys like kind of turn me off. It's very weird. Like I hate like over masculine energy. So like as a girl, I just never really related to that. And then the final thing that kind of brings it full, I feel transgender almost, is I've always had penis envy. Yeah. Where I just, this sounds so crazy to say out loud, but like I've just always thought my life would be easier if I had that part. That if I asserted myself, I wouldn't be a bitch, but I would be like a man. And that's how I always think. When I talk to people, I think of myself as being assertive, and I think of myself as masculine energy. But because I'm a female and I was born with female parts, people think, oh, she's a bitch.
Now, see that last bit, that last sentence she said, kind of made sense. It made sense, you know, because like obviously when men do be assertive, we're actually like being assertive. We're empowerment. We're very empowering. We're putting our mind to what we need to do or say, and we're addressing the issue, and then we're being perceived as goal driven, as very driven and motivated to a certain degree. And whereas a woman does the same thing, she is considered being bitchy or very feisty in a negative way. Now, she is right about that, but certain things I want to mention here is that the penis envy thing, that is not an indication of transgender. That is more so gender dysphoria. This is basically kind of like a condition where somebody experiences discomfort or distress because they feel that like whatever body part or more so genitalia in which they are lacking, they feel that they wish they have that genitalia.
Transgendered people, like I've always been fascinated because there are some who transition fully, and then there are some that only transition partially, and then there are some that don't necessarily transition at all but just choose to identify as a different gender. And I think I'm more of I just choose to identify as a boy. And I know this is where it's going to get a little scandalous, I don't love pronouns like they and them because that's super confusing, I think. Personal opinion, and that might be unpopular opinion because I know Sam Smith recently is like, I'm a they or something. That sounds like plural people. And while people think I'm schizophrenic and have multiple personalities, like I choose not to identify as multiple personalities. So I get it, but I think like I don't think you have to necessarily choose one gender. I think you can be a guy some days, and I think you could be a girl some days, and that's how I feel. So while I love the term like girly and femme, I think that applies to me as a gay man.
She said she doesn't like labels, and then she goes on ahead and kind of just like dismisses the idea of calling they and them because there are people who are gender fluid or even non-binary. People who are like either non-binary or gender fluid, they prefer to be called they or them, and that is not really a bad term. But she kind of dismisses it as like, oh, I don't like to be being called that because it's a term that I just don't want to be associated with. But also like the fact that she contradicts what she said in the next sentence, it kind of just annoys me a little bit. You know, like if you're gonna say something, at least like be consistent about it. And like I don't know, I don't know, man. It's like I really want to like have some sort of like coherency in what she's saying. I'm trying to think make sense of what she's saying, but this is so weird, bro. It's so weird.
Or straight or whatever, but I think I'm like mocking this or I'm confused, and I know that's such a misconception that transgender people are confused. And it's not that I'm confused, it's that I identify as both. I just don't necessarily like the term they or them. So do I think I'm transgender? Yes, 1,000%. Do I identify with my natural born gender? 1,000%. So
So you're not transgender? Oh shit. So you're not transgender, is that what you're trying to say? Because you spend already 10 minutes into the video saying that I identify with my transitioned gender, but then you said you identify with your biological gender. So you already crossed that line, bro. You already crossed that line of identifying with both your genders. So basically, you are fully aware of their biological gender, but like they feel like they identify a lot more with the gender in which they're transitioning to than their actual biological gender. If that means, you know what I mean. Hopefully, people within the transgender community, like they identify a lot more with the gender in which they transition or it's currently transitioning over to, rather than their biological gender. Like they feel more in connection with the opposite sex. She's a bit misinformed, you know, like she's also very closed-minded, and I feel like she's doing it for clout because like at a certain part of the video, like she says that like she has done this before, like she has said it, like she has trolled. She's been trolling, and she has been claiming that she's been gay or bisexual, and I feel that that's also been getting her flack lately. But this video here is kind of like put that sweet icing, put that sweet sugar on those motherfucking pancakes, my nigga, because that is gold. Like there's no way. Like I really don't want to assume that she's actually like being serious about this. You know, especially since she said that she's been trolling before. You know, I really wish that this isn't like an actual thing. But judging from the thumbnail and the fact that she said that she cut her hair short and she's wearing a wig, I don't think she's messing around. I don't think she's actually messing around. But like, if she actually like goes through this like process, you know, I feel like she should be more open minded, and I feel like she should be like slightly more educated in what she is saying, because right now I feel like she's just clout chasing. Like she doesn't know what she is talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about either, but I feel like specifically she doesn't know what she's talking about. Like that is wild, and like I said, this like pissed off a lot of people. Like people are not happy with this, and it, like especially the LGBTQ community, they feel disrespected. You know, like what she says is, you know, either stereotypical or, like I said, misinformed about, you know, the whole community and like what they're about in the first place. And you know, and it's kind of like the way she says it, like the way she says things, like her point is very skewered, and like it's not like it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Let me know what you guys think about the whole video here, and please let me know in the comment sections below what you guys think, and I will see you guys in the next video.